Zaya gathered more language. She was able to tell us about her identity. She was able to tell us about her sexuality. She was able to tell us, I'm trans. And she says, I've come out a few times.
All right, let's delve into a thought-provoking topic that's been buzzing online ever since rumors about the split between Dwayne and Gabrielle surfaced. Imagine this scenario. If the roles were reversed, would Gabrielle Union ever permit her own child to undergo a transition at the tender age of 12? Allegedly, she played a significant role in supporting Dwayne Wade's daughter, Zaya, in her decision to transition, and the reasons behind this have stirred up quite a commotion. The speculations surrounding Gab and Dwayne's supposed breakup are nothing short of mind-boggling. As always, I'll be dissecting all the intriguing details. The discussions about Zaya have been rampant since the rumors about Gabrielle and Dwayne's breakup hit the headlines. It might surprise you to discover that Gabrielle possibly influenced Zaya's choice to transition. According to Dwayne, Zaya expressed her desire to be a girl at the tender age of 3. It might seem surreal that a young child could be so sure about a gender change, but guess who is Zaya's staunch supporter during this revelation? Indeed, Gabrielle Union. The online community strongly believes that Gabrielle encouraged Zaya to transition and, much like Dwayne, kept Zaya away from her birth mother, Wade, dismissing her stance on the matter. Recall that Zaya's birth mother had previously stated that Dwayne was pressuring their child to proceed with the name and gender change to capitalize on business opportunities presented to the child. She advocated for waiting until the age of 18 to make such life-altering decisions. CELEB expressed concerns about the potential commercialization of their child at a young age, given Dwayne's high-profile status. She feared the uncontrollable consequences of media exposure, such as cyberbullying and the unwanted spotlight on Zaya. These reasons seem quite valid, don't they? At the time, Gabrielle checked him for having such strong opinions about Zaya, but she also went as far as saying that Boosie is probably on the DL. Let's just say that a lot of people have never been okay with how Gabrielle parades and talks about Zaya's transition and how proud she is of her, and at the same time drags people for being on the DL. Like, it's a bad thing. And I get where they're coming from because kids can't legally vote or drink until they're of age. So how does it make sense to allow a kid to make this kind of decision?
For her to be able to see so many members of her community, of our community, that she's looked up to, that have inspired her, that have held her down, had her back, is pretty huge. And there's not too many moments where I'm, as a parent, where I get to deliver that.
Well, there has always been the assumption that Dwayne is living his fantasies through Zaya, and Gabrielle knows it. I mean, wasn't he the same person who said that when he was younger? He used to do a lot of girl stuff. Dwayne responded to CELEB's claims, expressing disappointment at her attempt to challenge their child's identity. He pointed out her absenteeism in Zaya's life and asserted that she had no say in the matter. He emphasized his dedication to his family and refused to let her tarnish his reputation. Before releasing his statement, Dwayne consulted Gabrielle, who evidently aligned with his views. If Gabrielle truly valued CELEB's opinion, one might argue that she should have respected it, especially since CELEB wanted Zaya to make such decisions after turning 18. However, Gabrielle seemed to actively support Zaya's decision, potentially creating a narrative that she cared more for Zaya than her birth mother did. Despite CELEB's reservations, Gab openly embraced discussions about the transition, even engaging with critics, such as Boosie, and publicly rebuking them for questioning the decision to allow Zaya to change her gender at a young age. Gabrielle once scrutinized him for harboring such strong sentiments regarding Zaya, yet she went a step further, insinuating that Boosie might be discreetly living a different lifestyle. Numerous individuals harbor reservations about Gabrielle's flaunting and discourse on Zaya's transition, coupled with her unabashed pride in the matter, all the while condemning those who may be discreet about their preferences, as if it were an inherently negative trait. Some argue that this seems incongruent, given that children, legally barred from voting or drinking, are entrusted with making profound decisions about their identities. Critics posit that Dwayne is perhaps vicariously living out his fantasies through Zaya, an assumption well within Gabrielle's awareness. Wasn't Dwayne the same individual who admitted to engaging in traditionally feminine activities during his youth, while acknowledging that boys raised in predominantly female households might explore such behaviors, the crux of the issue lies in the alleged persistence of these fantasies through Zaya, a point that raises eyebrows. Well, followers certainly believe that Gabrielle encouraged Zaya to transition, with people posting comments like they're both evil. What they did to that little boy was, without the consent of his mother, was evil and disrespectful. I never saw love in their relationship, only clownery, foolishness, and fake love for the public. Supporting one's spouse is one thing, but openly championing a child's transition, especially when the birth mother dissents, is another matter entirely. Gabrielle, in numerous interviews, professes an unparalleled connection with Zaya, a sentiment that some find objectionable. Critics within the followership contend that Gabrielle may have actively encouraged Zaya's transition, branding their actions toward the child as malevolent and disrespectful, carried out without the mother's consent. Some express discomfort with Gabrielle, a sentiment rooted in her past roles and perceived bullying tendencies. A prevailing sentiment suggests that Gabrielle's support for Zaya is not necessarily the bone of contention. Rather, it's perceived as self-serving. Unlike other celebrities with transgender children, the couple isn't receiving accolades, media appearances, endorsements, or magazine covers for their advocacy, leading some to believe that Gabrielle and Dwayne might be exploiting Zaya for publicity. A prevalent viewpoint posits that Gabrielle might have influenced Dwayne to disregard Zaya's birth mother's perspective. The question lingers, has Gabrielle exaggerated her support for Zaya? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.